Kevin Spacey said himself too. He said, one of the reasons I think I'm such a acclaimed actor is because when you go see a movie of mine, you don't know my personal life, you don't know about my my relationships, you don't know about my what I do on a daily basis, you don't know about me like you know about Brad Pitt. So he said when you can go see a movie, that's why he can disappear in a role like J. Paul Getty and like just not be recognized, and you can really immerse. But now
he probably wishes you still didn't know anything about him.
I'm sure.
It's Sleepless with Steve and the Movie Book Club with your host, Steve Pulaski.
I was actually at the bar with my father, and I got the alert on my phone. I'm like, my God. I'm like, this is unbelievable. If you just tune in, you don't know or whatnot, or you haven't really heard too much information, now you can. Kevin Spacey is officially out on All the Money in the World, the forthcoming biopic, if you will, on J. Paul Getty, the rich oil baron whose son was kidnapped many, many years ago by a gangster group overseas in the 1970s. Kevin Spacey is officially out of the movie. They are reshooting it with Christopher Plummer playing J. Paul Getty. This is the Ridley Scott movie. The big news on this, too, is that they're also going to try and keep the December 22nd release date.
That's right.
The movie is completed. It's done. It co-stars mainly stars Michelle Williams and Mark Wahlberg, two really good actors. And now it's just very interesting because of the fact that they're moving forward. They're going to take all the scenes out with Kevin Spacey and they're going to reshoot them with Plummer. It's ballpark to cost between $5 and $10 million. I mentioned to you off air, this is totally unrelated vein, okay? Totally vain. I said that my buddy got me a poster of Murder on the Orient Express.
Yes.
I really got to befriend somebody at this other theater because they got an All the Money in the World poster. I really got to befriend somebody. I'm like, come on, I will pay you $30 for this poster right now.
They have a poster that has Kevin Spacey's name on it.
And his face. It's his face on the thing, too.
Okay.
I mean, it's the...
Are you gonna...
It's this one. It's the monument. It's the monument poster.
Okay.
So it's got his face on it, too.
You're going to slap Christopher Plummer on there real quick?
I'm wondering how they're going to do it. Because you know what? They're going to have to, and they won't release the figures for how much this is going to cost. They're going to have to cut a new trailer. They're going to have to cut a new trailer for this because they're still airing the one with Kevin Spacey. I saw, what did I see? The Killing of a Sacred Deer, and I saw the trailer, and obviously it's still going to have Kevin Spacey in it, but like...
Official All the Money in the World trailer.
But this is why I'm going to put some perspective on this, okay? More so than just giving you the news that Kevin Spacey is now no longer in All the Money in the World, okay? I'm going to give some perspective on this. 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks ago, All the Money in the World was a film that nobody knew. Nobody knew about it. Ironically, it was set to be another come-and-go biopic that might have been saved with a couple of Oscar nominations. Like I talked about on the last show, how biopics in Hollywood are dying. They're not making money anymore. So it's a $40 million movie, probably going to be about a $50 million movie after these reshoots. But can I make the argument? Can I make the argument that the reshoots and the, I guess you could say, quote-unquote, bad buzz for this movie is actually helping it a lot? With the troubling accusations of Kevin Spacey coming out, this has propelled the film into the limelight. What was viewed as another fairly generic holiday release is now becoming a must-see, quote-unquote, event movie. And now...
For just Christopher Plummer.
For Christopher Plummer, who is already coming off a few years ago, he won the Oscar for the movie The Beginners.
Yes.
He wound up being the oldest person to win an Academy Award for acting at the age of 82. He's now 87. And he's also going to be The Man Who Invented Christmas in a couple weeks, too. So now it's a film that's thrust into the zeitgeist. So there's good news and bad news about this, okay? Let's go for the good news first. Let's give the good news, okay?
Okay.
First off, people will actually see this film, and I think I'm going to say right now, this looks to maybe be one of the best films of the year. I love the way this movie looks. Have you seen the trailer for it?
I have not seen the trailer for it. I've been hearing about before this. I've heard all the news about this trailer and every movie and everything. I just kind of wanted to go into the movie cold. I didn't want to see any trailers. Sometimes when you get movies like this and I just read about them, I see who's directing them, I see who's in them. It's like maybe me going into it not knowing as much as possible will also increase. That's what happened to me with Gone Girl. I didn't see any trailers for it. Went into it completely blown away. I was like, I want that experience again with these more smaller films that come out. I just want to have that experience again.
That's a great movie to know nothing about, I think.
Yeah.
And And the thing is, the trailer. It's one of the. I don't. There's usually maybe 2 or 3 trailers a year I swoon over because I think they're just really well edited. This is one of them because it's got. And I'll play the song during the break too. That's what I queued up. Is "Time of the Season" by the Zombies, and the trailer playing through it, and I love it. It fits perfectly, and the trailer is just very well cut, and it loans itself to looking like a really good movie. So the good news I think is that people are actually going to watch this movie. They're curious now. If nothing else, they're curious to see how Christopher Plummer is going to play off this last-minute casting change.
That's what I'm wondering too. Is like, was he just walking around like on the set one day? Was he in like near the next studio, and they were just like, "Plummer, get over here. We need you."
Ridley Scott, the director of the film, Ridley Scott originally wanted Plummer.
Oh, okay.
He wanted Plummer to do it, but the studio actually wanted TriStar wanted Kevin Spacey, which is funny to think about now too. Another good news, I think, any exposure for Plummer is good, and now he has this and The Man Who Invented Christmas in 1 year. Any exposure for the elderly actor is great. He's a great actor. He's a veteran actor.
Yeah.
Any exposure for him to kind of leave off a legacy is good exposure. And then finally, I think Ridley Scott's Oscar campaign stays alive here. Wind River, which I know you saw.
Yes.
Wind River, unfortunately, can't change the fact that it was distributed by the Weinstein Company. That can't change now, okay? Wind River's Oscar campaign, in my opinion, is slim to none. I don't think it's going to get anything.
That's what sucks, because that movie is really good.
And I'm glad people saw it. It's not like it's not like it's a bomb and people aren't going to see it. A lot of people did go see that, which is good. But like the Wind River can't change can't change who distributed it. It can't take Harvey Weinstein's name off the movie. So that's kind of off. There's still hope for All the Money in the World to be a success, which I think is at the end of the day the good news. You know what I mean? This is the one time I think where controversy and bad press actually saved a movie, or actually did its part, because now people are curious. Now there's a lot of bad news for it. Can I say, first off, these 2 points kind of go hand in hand. I think Kevin Spacey's formerly strong year has soured completely. He was great in Baby Driver. Now there's all sorts of accusations coming out. John Hamm said he was miserable to work with on that movie. He said he was very stern. He said he was almost like a bully towards him and Ansel Elgort in terms of what to do. So there's a lot of bad negativity coming out. I don't see how you come back from this. You're completely.
I don't either.
You're completely edited out of a movie. Okay.
Removed from your Netflix show. Taken
off your own show. And you know what also, too, another one not a lot of people are talking about, his movie Gore, on Gore Vidal, who is a big, big Democrat. He was, I think he was a presidential candidate, if I'm not mistaken, too, many years ago. That was supposed to be a Netflix release in last month, but it got pulled. So now it's in limbo. And this was another movie, too, that was a big showcase for Kevin Spacey. That's canceled now. You don't know if that's going to come out now, and whatnot. But like, it's not good. It's not good for Kevin Spacey. And like the odd part too, or the ironic part, is that Kevin Spacey said himself too. He said, one of the reasons I think I'm such a acclaimed actor is because when you go see a movie of mine, you don't know my personal life. You don't know about my, my relationships. You don't know about my, what I do on a daily basis. You don't know about me like you know about Brad Pitt. So he said, when you can go see a movie, that's why he can disappear in a role like J. Paul Getty and like just, not be recognized, and you can really immerse. But now
he probably wishes you still didn't know anything about him.
I'm sure. I mean, you can't really do that now. And I'm not going to lie too. I think this is a good move too, because if you think about it, like All the Money in the World too, if that would have come out like as is with Kevin Spacey, the reviews would have just focused entirely on him. It would have really taken away from the movie. So
people would have boycotted it.
Absolutely. So I think that this was at least the right move, but I think it's doomsday in my opinion for Kevin Spacey. And then finally, I think it's going to add about $5 to $10 million to a budget, and the movie's already expensive. Yeah. So like, I'm not sure if that's going to work out really well.
I'm just interested to see like, can they really fit Plummer into this by December 22nd.
That's curious. I mean, if anything, if they even delay it till January, that might actually honestly might be better, just because the fact is they'll still be in Oscar contention. Yeah. And January, it's a less crowded market, but
you also get more time to shoot.
No, you do. It gives you way more. If I was the studio, even if I was Ridley Scott, I'm gonna say I would say, hey, If it comes out January 13th, that still puts us in the Oscar race. And it's only a couple of weeks. Movies get pushed back and pushed around a couple of weeks all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would try to push for January though. But I'm curious too, because the other thing was they were saying is that there's a lot of there's at least a lot of there's at least a little bit of time too, but there's not a lot of stuff to shoot because apparently Kevin Spacey was only he only worked for the movie in about 10 days, and he's only in roughly 15 to 20 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
Which I kind of like that just in terms of the story, because I think that this is more of a story on like Fletcher Chase and Gail Harris, the accessory pieces behind trying to get J. Paul Getty's son. But, so I think that that's very interesting that they did it like that. But I hope you're down to see it because I'd love to talk about this on the show.
If it's still coming out for that December 22nd release, I honestly, I'm not seeing Jumanji, so I'll go see this.
You're not going to see Jumanji? You're not seeing Jumanji? I will, just for like, all
maybe I
intents
will
and-
go see Jumanji, but I will definitely go see this because, like, during winter break, I get more time to go see movies.
Oh
obviously.
yeah, I'm at the movie theater. Like even Thanksgiving week, I'll probably be at the movie theater 4 or 5 times. I mean, I'll be over Christmas. I'm gonna probably be there over a week. You know what I mean? So I'll be there a lot. So I definitely want to put some perspective though on that All the Money in the World because this is a big story. I mean, it's something that is unprecedented in a way. I mean, there's a lot of, there's always getting recast and there's always actors dropping out of stuff because of their schedule. I've never seen this happen before where a movie's done and they go back to reshoot it and drop an entire actor. I mean, as somebody who's obsessed with film and thinks like a lot of stuff that's made should be released, another thing that's going to keep me up at night is that Kevin Spacey footage of the movie. You know what I mean? I would love
What
to
does
see
that
it.
look?
So not to strike, love to see it. You know what I mean? I would love to see that. And also, not to strike confusion, I guess I should just clarify this. Charlie Plummer plays the son of J. Paul Getty 3. No relation to Chris. FYI. I think there's going to be a lot of confusion on that one. Yes, I think there's going to be a lot of confusion on that. Charlie Plummer, who's in All the Money in the World, no relation to Christopher Plummer, who has replaced Kevin Spacey in the film. The more you know.